Everybody, this is Cameron Whithorn at NBA Live, and I'm joined here by Anthony Chavez and Jack Nuttall to talk about the upcoming NBA season. So we'll get right down to it. First subject, both of you, who do you think was the best acquisition by a team this offseason?
I think it was very interesting that Dwight Howard went to the Houston Rockets and left the Lakers because he changed his mind once, I think it said, and he said he was going to stay with the Lakers, and then he was like, I have to take a second thought about it, so then he went to the Houston Rockets.
Okay. And how about you?
I think the Andre Iguodala trade with the Nuggets, the Warriors, and the Jazz was probably one of the better ones. It just the Warriors got a great defender and a leader on their team, and the Nuggets lost someone who was probably their best player in the last season.
Okay, well now we're going to get on to the subject of Kobe Bryant's injury. So how do you guys think Kobe Bryant will rebound or decrease after last season?
Well, I think Jim Buss, he said that Kobe was going to be ready for the preseason. But I don't think Kobe's ready for the preseason. I think he needs to wait and let his Achilles heal and just wait it out. If he comes too fast, I think he will re-injure himself. As you can see, other NBA players that have come off an Achilles injury, it hasn't gone so well for them. So, yeah.
How about you?
I think he'll take a little while to come back. He'll start 75% for the first week or two, and then he'll come on strong. Because he needs to step up his game, even though he's one of the best players in the league after losing Dwight Howard and Metta World Peace. So he's going to have to step up, as well as Steve Nash. And if he steps up too much, he might injure himself again. So he has to be careful.
Well, on a similar subject, what do you guys think about the how Derrick Rose will either rebound or decrease after his full season injury?
Well, I think Derrick Rose is going to come back strong, especially if he took a whole season off of not playing for the season after his injury. I think he's going to come back strong, and he's going to do great.
How about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think after his injury, he got really mad and he wanted to come back, but he didn't want to injure himself. So I think he's going to push himself more to be even better than he was last year and become a great player.
Well, this is Cameron Whithorn at NBA Live. Have a good night, everyone.
Welcome to Dive Into Sports. This is Mark Steensland, along with my co-hosts Antonio Davila and Nathan Morales. So Nathan, what do you think the outcome of Game 1 will be?
I think the Suns will overpower the Bobcats and win Game 1, mostly because of their defensive presence.
So Antonio, what's the main matchup to watch in this game?
I have to say, the Bobcats post players versus the Suns post players. Mostly the Suns' first round pick Alex Len and the new Bobcat Al Jefferson.
I'm going to have to agree. I believe that the Suns will take it home with a strong point guard, Eric Bledsoe, and along with Caron Butler and many other good prospects they have.
So, Antonio, if the Bobcats do try to win, besides Al Jefferson and Kemba Walker, what presence are they going to bring?
They do have their draft pick Cody Zeller and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist to help out in our very good defensive team.
Well, guys, it looks like a pretty good matchup. But Nathan, who's the player to watch on the Suns today?
On the Suns, I cannot agree more than Eric Bledsoe, a player who plays for the Clippers and brought great offensive presence and defensive presence on steals, and I believe he can make a huge difference.
Antonio, who do you think is going to be the key player on the Bobcats this night?
Well, like I said, I believe that the point guards will control the game with a lot of help from their post players. So I'm going to have to say Kemba Walker is going to be the leading scorer.
Well, it looks like we're all going to have a pretty good game today. But we have to make sure, is it going to be a high-scoring game or a low-scoring game?
Well, each team doesn't really have a good coach this year, and in the last 10 years, they weren't the best besides the Suns when they had Steve Nash. But since they lost him and Marcin Gortat and only have Eric Bledsoe, I think this is going to be a 80 to 90 point game, not the ones we expect to see like 120. I think this team will not score and this team will not execute a great victory.
Anything to say on that?
Well, I'm going to have to agree that these teams are defensive minded. They're not very high scorers. And, well, everything Nate said right here.
All right, thank you for watching. This was Mark Steen hope you enjoy Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
This is Jordan Applebaum, along with my partners Jaden Pendola and Mark Lowe.
Last night, the Dodgers beat the Cardinals 3-2 to extend their road win streak to 15 games.
The Dodgers pitcher, Zach Greinke, pitched for 6 innings and only let up 2 runs.
Last night, Hanley Ramirez got injured by a foul ball and he got hit in the stands. How do you think this is going to affect the Dodgers' hot streak?
I don't think it'll affect it because they have a bunch more of good players, so I don't think it'll make any difference.
I don't think it'll make any difference either because they have a lot of other players that can make up for the work he's missing.
The Dodgers are now 32-7 in their last 39 games.
Mark Ellis did a horrible job last night by going 0 for 4.
Puig went 1 for 4 with 1 run.
Adrian Gonzalez also hit 2 home runs in the last game.
Oh, yes, and he only hit 3 the game before.
Adam Wainwright got the loss, but he pitched for 7 innings and only let up 3 runs.
Clayton Kershaw is going to pitch tomorrow, and I think he's going to do really well. What do you think?
I think he'll get the win, and I think they'll get to 17 wins.
Yeah, he might, but he also has he's been having some arm pain. He's been having some pains with his arms lately, so I don't know.
Andre Ethier singled to right, Puig ran the third, and Adrian Gonzalez scored.
Matt Carpenter on the Cardinals went 2 for 5 with 1 run.
That's it, there's no more. I think Puig is going to hit 2 home runs in the next game, but I don't know how he's going to bat.
I don't think so. I think he'll go 1 for 5 with an RBI.
I don't know why Puig didn't make it to the All-Stars this year. I think he should win Rookie of the Year.
Well, he didn't play for that much of the season, so it's understandable why he didn't make the All-Star.
He only played for 29 games, and all of the other guys had to play the whole 81 games, I think it was, and it wasn't fair if he made it.
The Dodgers now have, as they call, Fear the Beard in Single A right now, trying to recover his arm from his last injury on the Giants.
I think he'll do pretty good. I think he'll retire with the Dodgers after next season.
Yeah, he probably will too, or maybe 2 seasons.
This has been Jordan Applebaum,
Jaden Pendola,
and Mark Lowe.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hello today, folks. Welcome to Busch Stadium. It's between the LA Dodgers and the St. Louis Cardinals. My colleagues,
Aaron Goldstein and Ben Turcotte.
Aaron, do you think the Dodgers or Cardinals are going to win today?
I think the Cardinals. I mean, they're so hot. Craig is doing amazing. Beltran, Carpenter, the pitching's doing pretty well. And Hanley Ramirez is injured. Jay's playing well. I just don't think the Dodgers can pull it off today.
Do you think the Dodgers are going to break the road game win streak?
I do. I mean, their pitching and their batting has been amazing. Although Hanley Ramirez is not in the lineup, I think they still have other great batters. I mean, Clayton Kershaw. This is a great pitching matchup. Clayton Kershaw with a 10-6 record and a 1.87 ERA, and he leads all of baseball in WHIP with a .86 WHIP. And also, Yadier Molina is on the 15-day DL, and so I just think the Dodgers are going to extend their road game win streak.
Aaron, do you think the Cardinals' schedule is easy or hard coming up?
I think it's very difficult. They got Pittsburgh, Atlanta, now the Dodgers, Cincinnati. But I still think that they can maybe not win that division with Pittsburgh, but I still think that they can make the playoffs and go pretty far.
Do you think the Dodgers will win the division or the wild card?
It's going to be tight. Arizona's a very good team. And So they might win the division, but it's hard to tell. The way they're playing right now on the road, I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win the division.
All right, folks. Take it to Vin Scully. Let's take it to Vin Scully in the Mercedes-Benz booth at Busch Stadium.
Hi, I'm Michael Marone at the Pelican Arena with my co-host,
Jack Fuchs
And Landon Floyd.
It's going to be a great Game 7 here at the NBA Finals between the undefeated New Orleans Pelicans and the Charlotte Bobcats. So, Jack, who do you think is going to take home the championships this year?
Well, I've got to go with my boys, New Orleans Pelicans. I've been with them since day one. I just think that Kemba Walker cannot stick with Drew Holiday. I think Drew Holiday is just too fast and too good of a finisher at the rim. I also think that Eric Gordon's just too good of a shooter, and Austin Rivers will not be able to guard him. Eric Gordon will be able to help them spread the floor, and it'll be a good game, but I think the Pelicans will pull out and win it.
So, Landon, do you agree, or do you think the Charlotte Bobcats will take home the title this year?
I have to disagree. Al Jefferson has been playing magnificent this year, and he is too strong and too tall for the center spot to defend him.
So, how do you think Drew Holiday is going to do this year? Because it's his first year as a Pelican. How do you think he's going to do?
Well, he did amazing this year. Averaged 20 points per game, 8 assists, good scoring point guard. I was really surprised how he fit right into the Pelicans lineup and how they played, their game style. And I think he's going to crush this game. He's going to bring it home for the Pelicans.
Well, do you think Anthony Davis and can guard Al Jefferson or Cody Zeller?
Well, Anthony Davis is he's the same size, but he's very, very limber. Not as big or muscular. So I think that they'll need to help. The Pelicans' other forwards will need to help. But we'll be able to shut him down. Al Jeff's not that big of a factor. We'll be able to beat him.
So how do you think Michael Gilchrist is going to do this game?
I think he's doing magnificent. He is just all around just a great player and can help the team a lot.
I'm Michael Marone, and these are my co-hosts, Jack Fuchs and...
Hello and welcome to Game 7 of the NBA Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat.
The NBA MVP LeBron James has been red hot, averaging 28 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds per game.
However, Steph Curry has been on a roll. He's averaged 25.1 points a game and 9.8 assists. Who are you guys picking to win this one? I've always been going with the Warriors, and I'm going to keep it here. Such a great offense, powered by Curry, Iggy, and what do you think, Jordan?
Chris, I actually disagree with you. I think the Heat are going to come out on top here. They have the big three. They have a nice offense. They're just all around the best. They're just the best team in the NBA.
I disagree with you, Jordan. Steph Curry and the Warriors have been hot. They've beaten the Pelicans, the Celtics, and the Lakers. I think they'll come on top because of their bench players and their great defense.
Yeah.
Another couple of players that have been making it well. Dwayne Wade of the Miami Heat seemed to refound himself in this great NBA Finals. 21 points a game for Wade, while Andre Iguodala of the Warriors has 15 points a game. And Klay Thompson has also been doing pretty well. But the bench of Golden State has been red hot. 31 points in the Game 6. 31 points. The Golden State winning 101-98 in Game 6 on a clutch shot by Stephen Curry. What do you feel about that game, Jordan?
Well, the Heat, here's what I think. I think that the Heat have shown that when they have their back against the wall, when they're in a corner, they always perform even better than everyone thinks they will. And we've seen that when they fought San Antonio in the finals as well.
Okay, and that is it for the ESPN pregame report.
We'll see you after this commercial break.
I'm Sam Fell. I'm Chris Pollock.
I'm Jordan Vidikian.
And good night.
Hello, we're live from Dodger Stadium at the AM 570 Fox Sports LA Dodgers postgame show. I'm Caleb Crane here with my co-hosts Chris Lowe and Quentin Stevens. So, Quentin, this is their 15th straight road win. What's the MLB record, and do you think they're going to break it?
Last I checked, the MLB record was of 21 games set by the Detroit Tigers where they won the World Series. It was the 1983-84 season, I think. I think the Dodgers could definitely beat the NL record. Maybe not the MLB, but definitely the NL, I think.
And that NL record is 17 games. Now to Chris, do you think Puig is a better offensive or defensive player?
Puig is a great offensive player, but what makes him special is his defensive abilities. He's really, really fast. He's really, really big. When he jumps and he runs, he goes twice his length. He dives out, lays out, gets that grab, stands up in like a millisecond, throws it out with a bullet. He's just amazing. He does everything correct. His offense, everyone can hit, but no one can defend those really hard hits to the gaps.
So that's some pretty good stuff, Chris. So do you think he'll win the Gold Glove this year?
The Gold Glove, it's kind of like the All-Star game. He deserves it, but all the other people deserve it just as much. He has only been here 53 games, I think, 54 games. He hasn't really shown himself so much. He needs to play a little more games to show himself how he can do the whole season instead of just half the season. Because people are good during half the season, then they die out, or they're not good, and then they get up. But he has to be strong the whole way to get the Gold Glove, I feel like. So not this year, no, for sure not.
And he has played 59 games this year, contrary to what Chris said. No offense, Chris. But this was your 570 AM Fox Sports LA Dodgers postgame show. We'll see you tomorrow before and, of course, after the game. Good night.
The Dodgers are looking to pick up their 16th straight road win tonight with a visit to Busch Stadium against the Cardinals. You know who's been red hot? Yasiel Puig. Nobody's been hotter. He's batting .373 in his past 10 games with 1 home run and 7 RBIs. This guy is ferocious, and he's not a guy pitchers wants to face. Indeed he is. His teammate Clayton Kershaw is looking to pick up his 11th win. He's red hot too. In his last time against the Yankees, he picked up the no decision and went 8 solid innings with no runs. The Cardinals are going with Joe Kelly, 2-3, 3.10 ERA, and he looks to get back on track. This looks to be an interesting matchup. Well, that's it for our preview. I'm George. And I'm Charlie, and we hope you enjoy the game.
All right, that was 1 minute. Yeah, I mean, get on.
Welcome to the Pop Tarts pregame show. I'm Keith Magnuson. This is Connor Dignan. And this is Anthony Velez, and we're here in beautiful Seattle, Washington, where today at Safeco Field, the Toronto Blue Jays will come on and face the Seattle Mariners. Josh Johnson, who is 1-8 with a 6.60 ERA, will face today's Seattle starter Felix Hernandez, who's 11-4 with a 2.30 ERA. Connor, what do you think is going to happen to Josh Johnson in today's start for him?
I think Josh Johnson will be blown up. I think that Kendry Morales and the whole entire Seattle offense has been red hot, and Felix Hernandez is just an amazing pitcher, and I think they will get bombarded today. So, on to you, Keaton.
Anthony, how do you think Josh Johnson will fare today against the Mariners?
I think ever since his injury, he just hasn't been the same. I think he won't get blown up, but he'll allow at least 5 today. But Felix Hernandez will be dominant. I mean, the Marlins offense has been really cold, and the Seattle offense, like Connor said, has been red hot. So I'm just expecting a win for Seattle tonight.
Felix Hernandez has indeed been hot lately. His last start, he had a no decision. The last of Josh Johnson, he was blown up indeed. It is to be a good matchup today. Kendrys Morales is on fire. He's been hitting very well lately. How do you think he will do today, Connor?
I think he will do very good. I mean, if the whole entire Seattle team is hitting, then he'll hit too. When they score a couple of runs, it turns into more runs. Raul Ibanez has been great this year, and nobody thought he was going to be this great. He's getting older in age. He's like 42 now.
And time for today's offensive player Pop-Tart picks. Anthony, who do you think will do the best offensive-wise today?
The best offensive-wise, hey? I'm going to have to go with Connor. Raul Ibanez, for how old he is, he's just been dominant this year. I mean, it's like he was in his prime it's just like when he was playing in his prime. He's been dominant this year. He's been good. If you wouldn't know about his past, he's been mostly a dominant player. So I think that he'll probably be the most impact besides the pitching, because Felix Hernandez is obviously one of the best pitchers in the league for his offense before they were good. So I think that honestly it has to be Raul Ibanez, but I think the pitching will really carry the team today.
Connor, what do you think?
I think that it will be Kendry Morales. Kendry Morales, when the team starts hitting, he starts hitting. And I mean, I think the team's going to blow up Josh Johnson today. So I think that Kendry Morales is going to get a lot of hits today, a lot of RBIs. So that's my Pop-Tarts pick.
I think today Kyle Seager will bring in a lot of hits today. He may bring in a couple of runs, but my pick is Kyle Seager. Again, we're here in Seattle, Washington, here at Safeco Field. I'm Keaton Magnuson. This is Connor Dignan and Anthony Velez, and we will see you next time at the Pop-Tarts pregame show.
Hello, my name is Alden Ewan, and I'm with my friends Nicholas Bear and John Souza. Tonight we're at the Bud Light postgame show. Tonight we're talking about the game Dodgers versus Cardinals in the series. The ending score of the game was 3-2. Dodgers won. Who do you think was the best player of tonight?
I think it was Zach Greinke, because Zach Greinke went 6 1/3 innings. That was basically great. I mean, it was great 6 1/3 innings. He gave up the only 2 runs, and he drove in a run for the Dodgers too. He was able to get a nice single there.
How about you, Nicholas?
I think it was both Zach Greinke and Yasiel Puig today, because Puig got great defense off the wall, the double, David Freese, and then that was a difference maker, along with also Zach Greinke giving them that RBI single to really win it. So I think they were both the best players of the game.
For me, they were all good. It was the tie game, 3-2, tough decision. No, that was like really 3-2, almost tied. Well, what do you think about Clayton Kershaw not playing last night?
I think that they just wanted to give Clayton Kershaw an extra day of rest, because they knew Zach Greinke is somebody that could pitch on short order, and they really want to keep this win streak going. And I think they wanted to put Clayton Kershaw against a guy like Joe Kelly that he's going to have an easier night against.
Well, I don't think it's anything I really have to say about it, because Stephen Fife was activated from the DL, so it pushed everyone back. But I guess it helps the Dodgers, because then Capuano won't be pitching in our series, and instead it'll be Nolasco, because Capuano is an ERA over 7 at Petco Park or whatever it is. And so I think it was a good decision. Anyone can pitch on the extra day rest.
Yeah. And so do you think Magic Johnson affected the Dodgers? The Dodgers have been having a hot streak right now. They've been beating many teams. Do you think Magic Johnson had an effect on this team?
I think that whole ownership did, because when you go back with Frank McCourt, you had a terrible payroll, and you could only get 1 or 2 guys like Matt Kemp. And I think with the new payroll, having $215 million to spend, then you can go out and get somebody like Henry Ramirez, and you can get an Adrian Gonzalez. And that's really, I think that's the effect that Magic had.
Well, I think it really helps them, because now the Dodgers and players don't have to worry about who's going to own them and all that, and they could just settle and know who's owning them. Like, it also helps too, because Magic Johnson, he knows what Hollywood's all about and what the attention's all about. So he knows how to get players and all that, and knows that they have the talent in Hollywood, unlike Dwight Howard, to actually perform in LA.
Do you think Magic Johnson will bring the Dodgers to the World Series in LA?
I think they have a good chance this year, because I think they have a great bullpen, and in the playoffs, pitching is going to take you far. And I think it's going to be like the Dodgers and the A's, because both of those teams have great young pitching.
Yes, I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series this year, because they have the 3rd best ERA in the whole MLB this year with the 3.41 ERA. And their starting pitchers as of lately have been going 7+ innings, like literally each time, and their bullpen is just solid. Kenley Jansen gets save after save, and Paco Rodriguez can get saves, as you saw last night. And their offense is really carrying the pitching too.
And thank you. We're at the post game for Bud Light, and along with my friends Nicholas Bear, John Souza, and I'm Alde Wen. See you. Tune in ESPN.